Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chakras and Cuss Words. And today I have a special guest, a guest that I have been trying to get on this podcast for I don't even know how long. And I have really have been working hard to get this girl on here, this woman, this lady boss, Miss Lady Boss International, Rose Kaz. Please introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about you.
Well, thank you, Catherine. First and foremost, I must say I'm very fucking excited to be here. All my chakras indeed are cussing and just shimmy shaking on the shoulder. So thank you for having me. You've heard me a few times, I'm sure, say I'm not the lady boss. I'm one of many lady bosses. And so I am the OG. I am the poster child, if you will, poster woman for Lady Boss International, having worked in the world of production, primarily behind cameras for photo and video content. But hello, hashtag me too. Hello, all of the things of being a woman in business, no matter what field you're in, it's usually male dominated typically. And so, I was like in the third year of my business and I was like, this is like really hard and sticky in ways that I didn't anticipate, from sort of gendered stuff and sexisms and whose lens is bigger anyways, honey, and shit like that. And I'm so thrilled that I can cuss all I want on this thing because I got lots of them to drop. I decided that Lady Boss International needed to be a thing because I needed like a support group of like badass bitches to be like, girl, I know it's gross, right? And what about this? And by the way, yeah, so that's how we got this OG status over here, and I'm a work in progress as well. So I'm just really thrilled to be here.
Definitely. I love this. And I'm just going to let you guys know who are watching the video. This format is a little different. Homegirl had to get creative. I mean, I guess that's what lady bosses do like I said, Miss Rose Kaz is a very busy lady. And getting her on the podcast was my top priority because I really wanted to ask you, how did you get into the mindset of I am going to start not only a business, but a whole ass brand and a whole ass brand that helps other women work to their highest potential? Like how did that even what was baby Rose? Like, how did this even happen? I just need to know, how did the mindset even take place? Like, I'm not only going to start a business, but I'm going to start a business for other business-minded women, is basically. So take us a little bit through that story of how did this all started and the mindset that went behind it.
Well, thanks for that question, Catherine. So I think like many things that we do in life, at least what I'm discovering is that we kind of build the plane on takeoff and on landing. We're like, oh shit, And so I first, had my business, my production company business, which was my second technical business officially. I had some other, schleps in my teens, or maybe when I was even a younger little lady boss, but officially, where I felt like I needed this community, and I didn't monetize this thing. I was just like, oh yeah, Lady Boss International. It's just this cool thing I do, once a month in these like cool bougie little workspaces or like whatever, and like it kind of got more groundswell than I realized let me just say I didn't have a business plan. Okay. I was just like doing it to do it. Right. And then fast forward the tape. So that was 2017, 2018, 2019. It was like, okay, well, this is kind of yummy, but also like my other job that was paying me kind of required me to pay attention to it. Right. With my photo and video clients. And so thanks COVID, I was like, okay, so big face plant over here. I mean, literally 18 months sabbatical. Like, okay, what am I actually going to do here? What are we all doing? What do we need? Like, what do we really need to do with our time? Because I think COVID has been an incredible teacher and blessing. And I also honor that we lost a lot of really beautiful souls to it, sadly. And if there's a way that I can take my resources, my huge Rolodex of all these badass women that I had been collecting over the years since starting Lady Boss, and figure out how my business brain, which is like my heart, like I just think in business, how they could get together and like go forward. Like, how do we problem solve for this, Rose? Like, seriously. And I had a lot of time, table for one, quarantina, to think about it. And I was like, oh, I know what I do. I just bring this amazing audience from in-person events to this digital space that I've been creating with awesome stages like Clubhouse and other sorts of online experiences, Instagram, YouTube, all the stuff that we've been turning up, but not as much as we did during COVID. And then I was like, oh my God, as soon as I got the message, as soon as I was like quiet enough to like be like, yes, that's what you do. It was like, y'all just started showing up and we're like, yep, I need it. I need it. And I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome. So it started from like this integral question for myself of like, how can I have more community for my business? Like not more sales. Like, how can I have more women support me and be like, girl, I hear you. And I can be like, oh, good. Like, how can I create community? So integrity there, but also then like, there's actually a problem to solve. Like we as women are disconnected from each other more now than ever because of COVID. And I know a lot of women had to reposition their business, their workplace, whatever their goals were for them professionally because of COVID, because of kids being home or whatever shift happened, right? And I was like, okay. And so then there's more community that is needed there than ever. Just turn up the community volume. But I was also like totally freaking the fuck out because I didn't have a business. I was working in large events, big corporate, luxury wedding, and I had nothing, crickets for months, right? So it's like, okay, wait, but I have lots of things. I have community, I have contacts, I have a Rolodex, beautiful Rolodex, and I have the ability to talk with incredible women all over the fucking world. I could say that fucking world,
right?
Like that. And so that's what we did, and this is where we're at.
I think with COVID, like, and the pandemic and the everybody's now home, the quarantine generation, like a lot of us stepped into our independence as women. Maybe before we were in a totally male dominant area where we were like, okay, if I get fired or I get laid off or I get this, what do I do next? Like we didn't necessarily have that what if or the mindset like this can all be taken away from me at any moment. And then COVID kind of like woke us up, like especially like the women who are in like retail or the women who are in like the restaurant industry or the food service industry, like where these professions and these jobs were not guaranteed. So we have a full shift of how am I going to survive as a woman? And a lot of women collaborated together and really came forward. A really amazing thing to see it. Yes, it was so great. And I know like with 2020, I became very more focused on where I spent my money. And I wanted to spend my money with women businesses. I wanted to spend my money with women businesses that were local, small, and whatnot, because it really makes a difference if women support each other and really get back to each other. So I like that you brought that up, that 2020 did definitely take it. How, when you see women now and they're starting to do this whole like entrepreneurship or solopreneur or whatever it is that they're on or becoming a creator, and they say like, how do I step into my lady boss? Like, what is my first step of being a lady boss?
Oh my gosh, I love this question, Catherine. Okay, so first of all, I think all of us have, leadership skills. I think all of us have creativity. I think we all are dynamic and we have different muscles that we don't often maybe know about or remember, or someone had told us at some point in our life, like, you cannot do that. And so we internalize, oh, I can't do that, right? These are just stories. And most of those stories that tell us, no, we can't, or limit us, give us glass ceilings, shocker, spoiler alert, they're bullshit stories, right? And so my first suggestion would be like, get quiet for a second and think about like, what do I give a fuck about? Like, what do I actually care about? For some of us, it's like, well, I got to care about my kid. My kid's climbing on that thing and needs some food. Well, let me move that. Okay, great. What else do I care about? Right. Oh, I need to care about my own sanity, my health, my nutrition. Okay, great. I've fed myself some whole foods. Great. What's next? Right. So there are sometimes like front burners that you have to deal with before you can get to this second thing or third thing. But I would also suggest when you get some time to be quiet, put that quiet time on your list of like non-negotiables. I need to have time to give a shit about what I care about, right? And so every time we practice a little bit more of caring about ourselves and what we want to be doing, we give a little more space, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30, every day, every other day, now you got a business. Like, what do you care about? And maybe you care about showing up for someone else's business every day at 9 a.m. until 5. That's awesome. That's still a lady boss. You can still roll being a lady boss and not necessarily be a proprietress, right? I am of the flesh and bones that like, I tried to get a real job at some point. They just won't hire me. And when they do, they fire me like multiple times. Same company fired me twice. It's a blessing. How lovely for them.
Twice.
I mean, I was
Girl.
like, I go ahead.
Okay, I gotta tell you. So my aunt, I have an aunt who, she's wild. She's like, she was an interior designer and she worked for a lot of companies and a lot of businesses, and it just came to the point where homegirl was getting fired all the time. You know what I mean? Because she, you know, she had a mouth on her. She would be like, fuck you, I'm out, right? Don't tell me, you know, how to be. Like, this
she's a lady
me.
boss.
She's a lady boss, right?
100.
Yeah. So it took her probably like after, you know, one more time being fired, but she was fired like numerous times, that she was just like, fuck this, I'm going to start my own business. And she did. And when she did, it just flourished like crazy, like crazy. She was passing up like all the men that she used to work for, all the, you know, she knew how to, you know, deal with the contractor. She knew how to deal with the construction. She knew how to deal with the floor plan. She knew how to write the blueprint. Like, it was like she was basically putting herself in areas where people were telling her, you know, oh, well, we got to let you go because, you know, we got to fire you or you're not right for our company. The reason why she wasn't right was because she should have had her own company. Her own.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think that's innate for some lady bosses like myself. And I think for other women, it's like, you know, maybe drinking the tea a little longer of like what I'm supposed to do. And at one point or another, whether it's COVID broke the camel's back or, you know, what a relationship, there's always something that's usually, I think, in my experience too, where it's just like, oh, that's it. One more time, you know, one more time. And then, but usually isn't that the fucking shit, right? When you have some like bullshit experience and then you can be like, all right, you know, pull up my brassiere and tighten my big girl panties and we are going to Lady Boss Town, right?
Definitely. Yes, we do have to go to Boss Town. We do. What tips would you give women who are thinking about starting their own business, or maybe thinking like, is this right for me? Like, how do you know if this is the right direction for you?
Ooh, I love this question. Okay, so my first tip, of course, is going to be to join the Lady Boss International Backstage Pass, because this is a place where we just launched a week and a half ago, tools and resources with all sorts of women who've been in business for 5 minutes to 5 years to their whole life that can like info share and be like, oh yeah, you definitely want to check out this woman. She's actually in your time zone too. So you all can get on a call or a chat. Or by the way, this woman who's in the purveyor area who has a course that will help you on like setting up your business, LLC, S Corp, and what the heck is the difference? Oh my gosh, you got to connect with this tax accountant. She'll totally help you out. And it's all women, right? Like, I know when I've been setting up different parts of my business throughout the years, a lot of like, for example, I've had 4, count them, 4. I'm on my 4th accountant. She's a woman, so I'm hoping that'll stick. But these 3 other motherfuckers, they're always like, oh, don't worry, kid, I'll let you know. Or it's all right, little lady, I got it. You don't need to know. I'm like, okay, grandpappy, that's not how we play here. No, that's not the tea, honey. So I think it's really important. And if you don't join the Backstage Pass, I won't be mad about it. But what I will say is get your community who's like, listen, girl, this is going to be some hard shit, but it's going to be the best hard shit that you work on because it's your own. And as you pointed out earlier, Catherine, so smart. Like maybe some of us thought before, well, I need something reliable. I need something consistent. My girl, Cicely, I had brunch with her the other day and she was like, every time I try to onboard people to come onto my company, her company is commission based. The only time she hears no is when they say, I need some. Is what I say to them is, if you're consistent and you're reliable, lady boss, you got this, right? If you show up every day for yourself, if you show up every day, I'm not saying QuickBooks. Like I've had the QuickBooks tab open for 3 weeks. I have not showed up for QuickBooks. I will show up for QuickBooks at some point because I know I got to do something.
will show up
Yeah.
for QuickBooks. Yeah.
Right. Right. But like, you know, there's a scary part about being in business for yourself, because you do have to have some serious tenacity, but there's also accountability when you have community that's like checking on you and making sure that like you have the right resources. Because a lot of times it's not that we're bad at it, it's just that we don't have the right tools, right?
Right.
So that's my very first thing, is find good community that can help support you. And the second thing I think is just super important is to like lead with your heart, like give a fuck about what you do, right? And so if you're at a 9 to 5, or if you're doing like 17 different side hustles and you're like, what am I even doing? Like, what do I even care about, right? Like, find where you give a fuck. And then it's like they say, you know, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I don't know if that's exactly true, but do what you love and you'll enjoy it a lot more fucking much, you know?
Oh, I love this. So Rose, please tell us what you have coming up next and how people can get a hold of you and find you. And everything that you share, I will have posted in the show notes.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Catherine. Well, yes, once again, we've got that Lady Boss Backstage Pass that launched September 9th. We'll be in beta until January 9th. And so that's an opportunity for women who have courses, curriculums, one-on-ones, retreats, anything that you might be offering to take advantage of the beta, because there's no storefront rent on your purveyorship. We like to call it your P-ship. And also, again, for women who want those resources, we've got a really beautiful deal while we're in beta as well. The other two exciting things I want to point out real quick is October 11th, we're doing a Ladies Who Launch Summit on Clubhouse. That's a Monday. We'll go from 12 Eastern until probably about 4 or 5 p.m. So if anybody is interested in being a co-mod on that stage or just coming to the room to listen, you can drop us an email, and that's say hi, like hi, say hi, SAY. HILBI, like Lady Boss International, @gmail.com. Say hi, LBI@gmail.com. And we've got a huge party happening, COVID willing, October 16th in Chicago, which will be our official launch party. We had a small mixer on September 16th, which about blew my peoply mind. I hadn't been around that many people in, almost 2 years. So we'll see how October 16th goes, because it's going to be pretty lit. We're gonna have some live entertainment. It'll be on a rooftop in Chicago and all sorts of yummy things. So if you're in the region and you want to come, or if you're not, you're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna get a getaway now ticket on Southwest and come through, I got room for you. And I'd say the email is the best way to get in touch with us. You can also find us on Instagram @ladyboss.international and on the World Wide Web at ladybossinternational.club. Woo-hoo.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast and on the YouTube channel. I will make sure to publish this before all those dates set off. I'll try to get it out as soon as possible. So everybody, please comment, like, and share this podcast, and make sure you reach out to Miss Rose Kaz and find out about all the opportunities that she has to become one with her Lady Boss network. So thank you, everybody. And thank you, Rose.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you for having me. I fucking loved it.